Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we have a bit of a treat. Well, anyway, for me, anyway. I love the Mogami. We're doing the build and play guide on Mogami. This ship is a lot of fun. Let's get into it. We are using Hagero with Kuzanov and Membeli as the inspirations. Now, if you don't have Hagero, Yamato works just fine. I personally like her girl because I build into the HE, and you will see why in the match that we do have. So we're taking Beyond Range, Igniter, Hellfire, Fixated, and Refill Station, get the reload down. And for your modifications, Aiming Systems Mod 1, Propulsion Mod 2, and Concealment Mod 1 as always in the third slot. In the fourth slot, you could do a couple different things here. I personally choose to take the reload time. I know the turret traverse is not great on Japanese heavy cruisers, but because I play all ships, including battleships, it's not terribly slow to me, so I'm not overly worried. Otherwise, your gun control fire mod 2 would be a good option as well. For upgrades, targeting system to get the firing range increase as always. That's always the first one I take on cruisers. That way, if you need to play at distance, which in this match that you guys are going to see, I am going to play at distance. And for the second upgrade, the hull upgrade, because to be honest, if you mess up in this ship, it can be pretty significant, and there's no amount of health that can save you. All right, for your consumables, you have two sonars, and they're 4.4. They're not great. They last a while, but they're still not great. And three catapult fighters. Now, at the time of this match, by the way, catapult fighters could still spot, just so you guys are aware of in the match. And aircraft carriers could as well. Repair party, it's not terrible. It's not awful, but it's not amazing either. You get two of them. And for your specs, 39,000 health, which honestly, you can do okay in this ship as long as you don't mess up and sail broadside. That health number could be, it doesn't matter what that thing is. If you get hit by a battleship not paying attention, or even a real good heavy cruiser, maybe like a Balti, this thing can go underwater really quick and turn into a Mogami class submarine. However, if you're aware of what's shooting at you, this thing is not that big of a deal to play. I really like it. It's actually probably my favorite tier 7 cruiser to play, even over Suzuya, Balti. I don't know. This thing is just so much fun for me. For your artillery, you do have 10 203 8 inches, and the HE shell damage on it, as you can see, 3600 is closing in on the AP shell damage with fire 20% fire chance. You do not have to get in the Mogami, I want to be very clear, you do not have to get withers to do significant amounts of damage in this. In fact, I'm not even going to show you the highest damage game. I think even me, for the most part, played this very early on in my playing warships, because I played American Japanese first, and I still did good in this ship. I got killed a little bit in it, but I did pretty darn good in this ship. And that's just because the HE on this thing is really good. Don't sleep on the AP, though. Japanese heavy cruisers have very good AP, and as you guys have seen in all my other videos that I've ever done, pretty much in the Japanese cruiser, I'll switch it over to HE all the time. So just don't only use HE, but I mean, it is pretty darn good. Torpedoes, you can throw them out. They hit like a truck if you do get them to hit, because you got really bad firing angles on the torpedoes. They are on the back half of the ship. AA defense, it's not great. Most of it's within 3 kilometers, 3.1 kilometers. Don't rely on it at all. Maneuverability, it doesn't turn the best, but it's relatively quick, and the rudder works pretty well. For what it is. It's about average to me, the way it feels when you play it. Concealment 10.6, and for the armor. So you can see that we have the 25 millimeter end plating and bow. So you can tank cruisers, but again, battleships at tier 7 are going to go straight through your bow. You want to be careful with that. So if we take this off, you're going to see this has a pretty hefty citadel on it. And trust me, with as wide as it is, you are not going to get overpinned. A lot of times these are going to, you're going to get hit in the citadel. They're not going to overpin a lot, and you're going to feel it real hard. So either you want to play at range, dodging and darting, or a lot of times you want to play maybe behind island cover. I guess that's up to your play style. I do both in it, and it works pretty darn well, actually. As we start off, just a quick reminder, as always, guys, there's a million ways to play these ships and play them effectively in your play style. This is just the way I play it, and today we're going to see a pretty fun match, man. I'd tell you, I like Italian cruisers a lot more than I thought I would, and Japanese heavy cruisers. And I thought I would really struggle when I first got into these, because not when I first started playing cruisers I was so bad in cruisers. But in this match here, you're gonna see me be effective at range. This thing with refill station, I think, is like 19.6 it can shoot. And while I don't necessarily recommend doing that to battleships, or I mean to cruisers and destroyers, you can do it to battleships. You can see I'm looking at Georgia right away. I can see he shoots. We slow down and turn out. Now, we want to be annoying as hell in this Mogami, and that's really what this ship is about. You are going to do significant damage with your HE to everything. And you're going to see that. Now, he did back up, but we still did get 2 fires. And 5,000 damage, which isn't terrible in a cruiser. And we're out of his range. And one thing I always like to do, too, is try to make sure that I'm doing something different. So there I went. I sped up and turned out. And here, or I slowed down and turned out. This time I just keep my speed full. And you're going to see the weakness of Mogami. Now, are you going to see me in the weakness of Mogami? No, this guy's not going to make a smart decision here. And this is why I love shooting AP out of Japanese cruisers, because there is 3 citadels and over half his health is gone just right there. So we're going to work on Nagato here while he's behind the island and keep this cap from going to A, or going to the red team the best we can anyway, right? So we get to defend there. We have loaded AP up just in case this fellow wants to peek back out again. And this is not how you play a Mogami, guys, if you're wondering that what he's doing there. You cannot sail broadside close in to battleships and cruisers that are shooting AP. It just is not a smart decision. Now he does accelerate there, and he does get a little bit lucky, and it looks, I go ahead and shoot up and out, expecting him to turn out. And now we're going to switch over to HE and worry about Nagato here. And we're going to send some torps. We get the kill on the other Mogami, and we're going to send some torps out just in case Nagato decides to rush us, or in case there's a destroyer in front of us, which also could be a thing. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue to harass Nagato here, and just being annoying as we can. Now at range, you can see we've been hitting pretty well for the most part at range here. Now that one, not a great sample, but for the most part, this ship is definitely accurate enough where you can hit battleships consistently at 17, 18 kilometers here. And we're going to go ahead and start to move in, because it looks like we're winning this flank, and we need to get this A cap. You see the match is real close right now. And again, we're doing significant amount of damage to Nagato without even burning him. And that's the interesting thing. You guys are going to see in this match, I don't get a witherer. And I don't do the world's most amount of damage, but I do enough. That's for sure. And that's kind of the way it goes with this ship. I definitely get withers in it quite a bit, But I wanted to showcase this because you just see the power of the HE, also the AP as well, because you can see we already did 4 Citadels with the AP, and you can see we are trying to wreck Nagato here, and get Nagato out of the cap. We want to take this cap the best we can. As you see, I'm starting to push in, and then I see Azuma there with a significant amount of health, so I go ahead and as he goes dark there, you can see instead of, I wish I had stayed with HE there. I didn't know he was going to get hit pretty hard, because I could have just finished off Azuma here pretty quick. His engine is obviously disabled, so we're going to shoot AP at him, try to get him, but he starts moving forward here at the last little bit. We do get, I think, a couple shells to hit on him. Now we got to be careful that we don't get too close to the hood either, where the hood can snipe us. So we want to work on getting rid of Azuma first, because in the right hands, Azuma can be super powerful, as we do in fact get rid of Azuma as well. So we're 6 minutes into this match, and right now we have the only kill. So understanding that, I start to get a little bit more aggressive here. And we're going to start working on Hood here. Hood does a good job here of actually dodging and darting and stopping and kind of starting with me here, for the most part. But we're going to continue to push up and keep our distance at some point. But we're trying to get, I want to get to the A cap here to try to turn the tide on this A cap. And you can see Hood is now turning away. But again, we still get him, and we still get a defend on that, preventing him from getting the B cap. And like I said, stopping cap control, in my opinion, is one of the most important things about this game that nobody really cares about. Like, you gotta stop people from getting the caps. Like, everybody wants to make it seem like every game ends on everybody dying one team, but I would say that is definitely not the case, and you got to be careful. So again, I'm being a little bit aggressive here, and we are meeting back up with that Georgia that we annoyed and double fired right away. Now, he did put that first double fire out there when we did hit him, but you know, he probably still not thrilled with me. And at this point, I'm pretty sure I was like, he's gonna, as soon as he gets a chance, he's gonna try to shoot at me. Because also I've been the only person 7 minutes in now, 7.5 minutes in, to kill any of his team. So, but we see the kid here. We can't really worry about the Georgia. And we're going to try to take out the kid. My first shot was not a good one there. I should have realized he was picking up speed here, but we're going to go ahead and take another shot. Our destroyer, I'm not sure if he had bad luck or what, but his shots were not great. As you can see, we're gonna have to do most of the damage here to Kid, and we're gonna go ahead and finish off Kid here as well. So now we can get the cap, and now Georgia's pretty close, so I got to be a little bit careful here to not be too dumb, but I do want to help get the cap. But actually at this point, I kind of thought our destroyer was gonna leave the cap, because he did not seem like the world's best destroyer. And I'm not ripping on him at all, but he, without my help, he definitely would have lost that destroyer fight. So we're going to go ahead and push into the cap, because I was thinking he was going to maybe leave and try to charge the Georgia here, because you can see how he kind of looks like he's coming out. And I was like, nope, get back. We need that cap. But we're going to go ahead and keep annoying the crap out of Georgia. And Mogami is so good at this, at being super annoying. This is, you know, when the right player gets in this ship, it can be really a pain in the butt to get rid of. You're on fire, especially if you're a battleship, because you're on fire all the time. You know, chances are the Mogami's dodging and weaving, but sometimes you get the guys that just sail broadside. As we get our Kraken 8 minutes into the match here, and doing a significant amount of damage. So we're going to speed up here, and you can see there was a cruiser in front of us. I was actually hoping for some spotting from our carrier, which he decides not to do. So I know that I got to charge straight forward. Our carrier, I don't know if he was great or not. I didn't see enough of the match to know. But knowing what I know I have to charge in. And there is Mayoko with like no health whatsoever. And we're just going to unload shots at him and try to finish him off. And we're going to go ahead and make, that turn. He dodged some of our shells. We get incapacitated with no damage. And of course, the Kaga goes ahead and finishes him off because, with a destroyer and an aircraft carrier, getting the last little bit on a cruiser was super important while your teammate had a shot at it. Sorry, I was a little salty about that. You'll see why here in a minute. But outside of that Mogami, and we didn't even, or that cruiser, I can't even remember what it was now. We've done most of the damage to who we've killed for the most part, or at least did a significant amount of damage to them. And we're going to slowly work up on the Lexington because we need to get rid of that aircraft carrier. I don't have great AA on the Mogami anyway, but you can see we've affected the whole entire match in this game. We've started out all the way on the A cap and have worked all the way towards C, and we're shooting AP here because we can definitely do damage. Again, the carrier probably could have just spotted there for me, because remember, this is back when carriers could spot, and definitely could have used that, because now I'm just sitting here doing nothing. And same with our battleship and everybody else that's in range. But we do get our high caliber, meaning we did over 30% of the damage of the entire enemy team. And we are going to go ahead and keep pushing in. That way we can spot the Lexington on our own if we need to. As you can see, the Lexington comes up. We take a quick shot, hoping that we got the first shot with a bunch of citadels. But you can see my aim was not great there. I didn't lead him far enough, so I lead him a little bit more here. And at this point, I don't know if he's stopping or starting, but we got a better salvo there, I guess. But I actually thought for sure at this range I would be getting citadels, but turns out we're not, and that's okay. As we finish off the Lexington, get our 6 kills. We almost had 7. The aircraft carrier really wanted that cruiser, though, guys. And having a great game, 142,000 damage, 6 kills, almost 7, and a 3,300 base XP game. Really helping out our team. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, folks. Have a good one.